Tip comes in with the subject line, "Many bots in wild." That's a good start. The email says many level 3 and 30-ish combat bots are appearing in the free-to-play deep wildy, and they are risking a lot in the wildy. And in one day, the person who sent the tip managed to get 20 mil. 20 mil in one day in free-to-play is some insane loot. It's like making 200 mil in one day in pay-to-play. Also, the person sent lots of screenshots of just cash loot on the floor in their loot tab. Clearly, the bots all have gold. This seems super promising. So I added the person on Discord, and they even sent a screenshot of the region these bots appear in the wilderness. It's the western side of the lava dragon maze, kind of east-northeast of the moss giants. So him and I teamed up and we went hunting. Pretty quickly we found our first account. A level 30, which I killed quickly, that had nothing on it. Soon after we found a level 3 a little bit north, and it had 114k on it. And then more and more. Every few worlds there was 1 to 4 of these accounts just idling with 100 to 140k on it. I racked up a mil in less than 8 minutes. Then I ran into a level 29 who was skulled, so I assume it had attacked one of the lower level bots, and it turns out it had another 120k on it. So I thought maybe they're muling, but in deep wilderness like this, it doesn't make any sense. But we've established this is probably one of the best free-to-play moneymakers. We're talking 6 to 8 mil cash money per hour. But I'm way more interested in why, not how profitable it is. So first things first, I decided to see where these accounts go when they die. If the higher level 30s are killing the lower level 3s, what do the level 3s do after they die? Another question is, why do the level 30s never have more than like 140k on them if they're muling and killing a bunch of level 3s? Like, they should have more gold, and they never did. So many questions unanswered. So I camped on one account in Lumbridge, and I killed one of these accounts on my low level. That one just logged out when it died. So let's try again. This time the bot took off right after it died, and we'll get into that right after this. Boot.dev is building the smartest way to master backend development by tackling the hardest problem with online learning: boredom. They're gamifying learning to code, and they have a super active Discord if you have any questions. This is an incredible platform to tackle technical interviews and land high-paying jobs as a software engineer. Boot.dev will teach you everything you need. You can learn back-end web development from start to finish in both Python and Go programming languages. The platform is designed to get you writing a ton of code because getting your hands on the keyboard and shipping projects is the only real way to learn. I like Boot.dev so much because the most effective way I learn is to make sure I don't get bored, and Boot.dev makes coding fun. It's online, self-paced, and feels like a captivating RPG game. It's free to sign up and demo the courses, so click the link in the description to test it out, and when the demo gets you excited about coding like it did me, use my code sirpugger to get 25% off your first month or even your entire first year if you choose the annual plan. Thanks to Boot.dev for sponsoring this video. We're back. So the bot took off right after it died and quickly ran north looking like it was heading for Edgeville or the Willy Ditch, but I lost it because my run energy ran out and we were on free to play. I wasn't prepared. But I ended up killing a few of the same bots over again within a few hours of each other, and each time they had gold, so it almost seems like they could run to Edgeville Bank, get more gold, and then run back up north. So the next world I checked, there are 3 bots just standing there, and I killed all 3 pretty quickly. All of them had around 120k on them. And then I hop into the next world, and my suspicions were confirmed. I witnessed the tail end of a level 26 killing a level 3, so then I killed a level 26, and I got 126k. I still don't think this is a muling operation, and we'll see later on why. So the only other way I can think of to get to the bottom of this is to just not kill them and observe what they're doing. So I found a level 30, and eventually a level 3 logged in. I waited 10 minutes, they logged in and out every few minutes or so, and I couldn't take it, so I killed a level 3, and it had gold. But then I killed a level 30, which had 115k on it, and notice neither accounts were skulled. So why is there a level 3 up there with nothing on it, and then the level 30, which is supposed to be the mule, with gold on it? So this is almost contradictory to the muling theory, and I'm starting to have trouble making sense of all this. So I'm observing 2 other level 30-ish accounts that are both skulled for 15 minutes, and eventually level 3 walked up from the south right past us, and the level 30s just logged out. So I'm watching a few more accounts, and right around that time, a much higher level PKer just happened to log in. Either they know about the bots, or they're the owner of the bots. I don't know how else to explain it. We're on a random free-to-play world in the middle of the wilderness. Eventually, the PKer did get me for the 3.3 mil cash I had accumulated. And a couple days later, I couldn't find these accounts anywhere anymore. I asked Jagex about it and they didn't respond. If you have any idea what's going on, let me know by emailing sirpuggertipoff@gmail.com. Ever wanted to be invisible in RuneScape? Well, someone sent in a tip-off about a bug that isn't quite invisibility, although your character does become invisible. It's more of a stuck under the map bug. And I guess stuck's the wrong word because you can still do a lot of stuff while you're under the map. The tip says they found it a while ago in their player-owned house and didn't think much of it until one of their friends figured out a way to exit the player-owned house but maintain being underground, aka invisible. So let's walk through the bug. It requires having a dungeon in your POH that's meant to troll guests. We aren't sure exactly how the bug is triggered or why, but it seems like there's basically a 1 in 5 or 1 in 10 chance that when you get hit by a floor trap and sent to the cage with fire in it, your character gets shoved under the map. Once you're under the map, your character is invisible, although there still is a white dot on the minimap. If not, this would be too OP. So there are some rules to maintaining your invisibility. If you exit the house portal in almost any way, you do turn visible again. If you change your equipment in any way, same thing. And if anyone or any monster gets a hit on you, you also turn visible. Although you'll see later it's pretty hard to do. So, the way to exit the player-owned house without losing your newfound invisibility is to use the fairy ring. Here, I'm equipping a Draman staff, but if you have the requirements to use fairy rings without the staff, you could equip, for example, a Staff of the Dead, which again is foreshadowing for what we're gonna do with our invisibility. It's kind of disconcerting to play without being able to see your character. I'm gonna switch between perspectives of the invisible account and my main account. And as you can see, if I turn player indicators on my main account, I can still see the username of the invisible account. And the username is at ground level since that account is basically under the map. Now, I did think of a lot of ways to troll people and potentially profit from this, but of course, we're gonna send this into Jagex and then just show an example. So remember, if I get hit by anything, I turn visible again. And apparently the person who tipped me off had done some testing, so if you use ranged, you also turn visible, so melee and ranged are out. But magic doesn't affect your invisibility. So, why not go to lava dragons while we're invisible? All we have to do is make it to a safe spot within the lava dragons. And by the way, if you teleport, you turn visible too. So we have a long run. But once we get to a safe spot at lava dragons, we should be good for it. I mean, we're invisible. So you can still see the spell animation just floating being cast by an invisible player. Not sure how that works since I'm under the map, and I can just sit here killing lava dragons all day. I do really wish I had the requirements to use fairy rings without the Draman staff though, because it's a lot of manual clicking otherwise. At one point, a PKer did log in, but I'm guessing they weren't looking at their minimap because they immediately hopped off. Being invisible is highly effective camouflage. And eventually I did accidentally get hit by a dragon. I'm guessing this is going to be patched almost immediately, and it's pretty hard to reproduce given the POH configuration requirements. Since we don't even know what causes it, I'm not sure if anyone else could reproduce it or if it's this specific player's house being bugged for a specific reason. Pretty cool bug. I've never actually been able to become invisible myself before, although I've heard of many bugs like this in RuneScape's history. I woke up this morning, and I mean actually this morning, the day this video is going live, and I have 2 new tip-offs, both about the Deep Wildy Chaos Altar and some very bizarre events that happened there. We have screenshots and footage, but basically there's a new bot army of level 15s that are highly coordinated, and they're spread across worlds. When they come into contact with someone they can attack, they all log into the same world that the scout noticed that account on, just like a PK clan would, and then eliminate players quickly. Pretty crazy stuff, and great that we got footage of that. So I set out to see what was going on. And at first I didn't know if they were in free to play or pay to play, so ignore my gear, but I started hopping through worlds, and I hopped into one with one of the bots, and it insta attacked me, and I eventually killed it. 50k risk, mostly in chaos runes, which by the way are back over 100 GP. But no other bots logged in during or after that fight. So as I hopped through worlds, some of them had 2 bots in them and some 1, and the accounts are really easy to kill. Some even staff bash you, even though they have runes. And once I determined they weren't doing the crazy bot swarm tactic anymore, I don't know why, and then also because I noticed that they always attack you, I grabbed a Dragon Warhammer on my low HP strength peer and started just bonking them quickly. I gathered over 10k chaos runes in about an hour, which is worth 1 mil. And it's quite satisfying to have a bot attack you and then turn around and just one-hit it. So, why are they here, other than to kill any players they find? Well, at one point, I saw another account that had a very bot-like username using the altar. It's definitely a bot, like the username looks like you hit your forehead on the keyboard. And so I killed it, which meant I skulled up, risking about 30 mil by the way, and it had a full inventory of Hydra Bones, which are 10k each. And I've gotten many tip-offs about large bot farms that basically come in and train prayer for 20 minutes and then leave, during which people mass kill them and make a lot of gold off of the bot bones. So this bot farm likely could have been created to catch those events and wipe out prayer training bots, plus pick up whatever other level 3s they find along the way. So if you see one of these accounts, be careful. If it has the swarm functionality turned on, you're probably about to see another 200 bots and they're all going to try to kill you.